It would be no surprise if today's matchup turns into a grinded-out affair. The Raiders are #1 in defensive yards allowed, and they go up against the Panthers, who will need to be sharp on offense. With that, let's hand it over to Brandon Gott and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 12 matchup.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Bay Area as we welcome you to Oakland, California. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Carolina Panthers and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They're hot as can be. Winners of 8 of their last 9 games.
I don't know if you'd call this start a surprise exactly, but they've proven that they're going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with anybody.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. Leading them out is a guy who's been a Raider starter since day 1. In his 3rd season now, it's Derek Carr.
And the Raiders believed in him enough to select him, so we knew that they liked him. But after they watched him play as a rookie, they realized they had their quarterback, and they wanted to build around him. Remember last year they drafted Amari Cooper to get him a #1 receiver, and they fortified the offensive line to make sure they could protect him. They know they have their #1 guy for a while, and they want it to continue that way.
A big gain there on the first play of the game. 61 yards. Well, we saw the practice film this week. They wanted to focus on these intermediate passing plays, and it paid off there.
And they took that focus not just to the practice field, but in the film room to show the guys exactly what they wanted, what types of looks they should expect to get, and how they would beat those coverages each and every time, and it paid off on that play. And it's never a bad decision to slide as a quarterback. You're too valuable for reasons other than your legs to go out there and take those unnecessary hits.
From the gun, it's Carr. Buying time to his left. And he is out of bounds here. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Well, sometimes we talk running backs, sometimes we talk wide receivers. Walford, the tight end in this unit, very important.
Clive Walford, a terrific player. Knows how to work the inside portions of the field, but also can surprise you and get deep.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. And this is caught by Cooper for a Raider touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. And that makes it 7-zip Oakland. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback. Last year would have come out to the 20. This year they'll move it out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the former Auburn man, Charles, hard to believe, already in his 6th year now, Cam Newton.
And every eye in the stadium goes to him as soon as he appears, doesn't it? There are very few players that have that type of effect. Doesn't matter whether he comes out for warm-ups, whether he's come out for the game, to start the game the first time on the field. All eyes on #1, and rightly so. He may be the best player in the game.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. And Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
When we look at this unit like we are now, Greg Olsen has become such a reliable target in this league.
Loves to be considered the #1 option in the passing game in the offense he plays, and he lives up to it. Knows the defense is set for him, knows how to beat them.
Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. 3rd and long, it's Newton. And he gets it to Funchess complete. A good pickup there, a 22. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it seems almost effortless.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Time to meet the defensive starters for the Oakland Raiders, and you want to discuss one of their safeties.
I certainly do. Carl Joseph out of West Virginia always did a great job policing the middle of the field. A big hitter, knocked the ball away, but really added to his game his last year as a Mountaineer. Became a better cover guy and a better ball hawk before he got injured. They're really going to love him in Oakland.
Here's Newton now on second down. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
On fourth down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Taken in at the 11. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Raiders will take possession. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Adams. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Well, Brandon, these two have formed a pretty good partnership. Cooper in his second year, Carr in his third. But what makes a duo great can also be their downfall when you go to the well too often. And this ball is one that Derek wishes he could have back.
The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up. But you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. Wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it. In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Draw play, Newton to Stewart. A strong running. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
He may try and run for this. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. This is taken at the 23. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And his throw is incomplete.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defender's going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They'll come up on a 3rd and 4 here to start things out. Shotgun now for Carr. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down. On now the 5th-year man, Marquette King, to kick it away. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
Carolina getting set to take the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a 1st down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13. And they've got an extra defensive back out there now on 3rd and 13. A play fake to Stewart. It's Newton. And this one complete right side to Funchess. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Now I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well. Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. Following the penalty, here's Stewart. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15.
After watching that play and result, I go back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator, Brandon, before the game and said, how are you going to move the ball running it against the #1 defense? He gave us no indication, didn't tip his hand at all, so we have to see how this unfolds as this game moves along. But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And now a high kick trying to pin them back. He'll return it from the 6. It's a net of 40 there, a punt of 48, and a return of 8. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. A good productive run there on 1st down. He winds up getting 8. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Letting one fly deep for Cooper. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting.
Now they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. But he will not make the first down marker. And that'll be a turnover on downs. Game clock sitting at 2:02, so they'll get one play before the 2-minute warning. Carolina getting set to take the field. Stewart is the lone setback. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth.
False start, offense.
On second down, here's Newton. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Kelvin Benjamin, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Oh, he shifts past him. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Intended that time for Cooper, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders have taken the lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask. 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes your hand gets into the wrong place.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, give up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. Newton gives off to Stewart. And a short gain there. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Jones on the return. A great return there of 22 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got to a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Amari Cooper with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. And oh, it's blocked. This is going the other way. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, times have definitely changed on the PAT, on the extra point, haven't they? A lot more effort goes into this play from both sides.
Yeah, because let's face it, a lot of time on extra points, the effort is not what it is when you're trying to block a field goal.
No doubt about it. Before, when the ball was snapped on the 2-yard line, it was really a virtual chip shot. Now everyone believes they can get to it and knock it away, and we know how crucial every point is. So the defensive guys, they spend a lot more time trying to get that done, which means there's more pressure on the offensive guys trying to kick it.
Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They keep it on the ground. Again to Stewart. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. On 3rd down, Jonathan Stewart. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 35. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Fresh set of downs here.
Give them a lot of credit. They ended up running the ball on a key 3rd down situation. They were staring 3 and out in the face and found a way to flip the script and keep the ball moving on offense.
And he's got his man on the comebacker. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
A dump off here to Stewart. And Stewart lost the football. It's loose. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
So we've reached halftime here in Oakland with the Raiders on top as we will send you eastward to Orlando and Larry Ridley. He's standing by with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Raiders right now are doing a good job protecting their house. The Panthers haven't played horribly, but will need to improve if they want to win this one. So let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. They'll line up right at the 22-yard line. Carr finds his mark across the middle of the field, and he'll be tackled all the way down inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. Sticking with the same drive, Carr is on target on the slant, and it leads to a touchdown, giving them an early lead. Panthers take over late in the second. Still late stages of the second. Carr's got the completion here, and a quick three-play drive ends with a score. That puts them up by a touchdown. Still late stages of the second. Out of the pocket, he'll complete the pass. He gone. Lead now goes to 13.
That'll do it for us here at EA Sports Studios. Let's get back out to Brandon and Charles for the call of the second half. Brandon.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Oh, it's loose, and the Raiders have it. And there's a surprise. You come out of the lockers, you're winning, kicking it away. I'm sure the receiving team is expecting you to kick it away. Surprise them with the onside kick, and it worked.
You know that they were ready to roll coming out of the locker room. Oftentimes, though, you see the team that's losing resort to something like this, trying to steal a possession. This was completely unexpected, but well played.
So this brings up a 2nd and 2. Quick pass play there on the slant, Charles. Works out well for the offense.
The offense loves it. The defender hates it. Hard to get through the body of the receiver to get to the football trying to cover a slant.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
This one caught left side by Cooper. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Carr now to throw. Being chased out left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. So on 4th down, off goes Carr, and on is Sebastian Janikowski. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. So a good kick there, and they finish off the drive with 3.
And that should be the goal for an offense, finish each drive with points. So that's a nice job there to come away with at least something.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35, but make it the 40-yard line.
It's the 3rd quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard, and while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the 2nd half. They're down in this game, a chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever.
There goes Jonathan Stewart. Touchdown, Carolina. Jonathan Stewart, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers, they're able to draw a bit closer. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. And that almost makes it a brand-new ball game. Now it's a 1-score affair after they get the 2.
And you have to know they were holding their breath on the 2-point play, because they had to have it to get it within the range that you just talked about. Dialed up their 2-point play. It worked. Now they're feeling like they've got a shot at this one.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Now he'll throw deep left side. And this is caught. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Cordero Patterson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Raiders add on to their lead. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there is no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Heading back on the field is Jonathan Stewart. And as we peer at the numbers, he got off to a struggling start, but since then really found his rhythm.
And I think that comes together with not just the halftime adjustments, but just that quiet confidence. If you just keep doing the things you've been working on, eventually there'll be creases. You know, find those gaps in the defense, keep working on them, and maybe what didn't happen very well for you in the beginning of the game, it starts to open up as the game moves on. With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and...
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Give him 18 yards on that one. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Andy Lee now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Here's Jones. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
Well, after watching him ring the bell that many times and put the ball in the end zone throwing it, you had to figure they had to bring some type of pressure. They had to change things up on defense.
And able to get to him, put him on the ground, so maybe just something to throw him off a little bit.
Yeah, that had to feel a lot better for the defensive guys. They've been getting carved up in this one. To finally knock him on the ground and force an incompletion, that's got to be a sigh of relief.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. Serving the Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. The 2015 Pro Bowler, K'Wan Short, in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Here's Marquette King now. On presumably to punt, though he did complete a pass earlier. And they're going to try this again. It's another fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work out.
Not the quarterback.
No.
The punter.
Yeah.
Risky. And it's so funny because when it works, genius. When it doesn't work, not so smart.
Not so genius.
In this case, not so genius. I do admire that he went for it.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in the East Bay. It's the Panthers in possession of the football, but facing a deficit here as we get to the 4th and final quarter play. They'll come out in the pistol. From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. So they're operating in the red zone. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Another run for Stewart. He's been busy. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Jonathan Stewart with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Panthers have got it back to a 1-score game. Nice execution there. Good job by the O-line getting him in for the 2nd time.
And you always have to start with credit there when you're having a big game. I mean, you don't get there by yourself. That's rare. But how about the ability to see the proper holes, pick the proper place to go, and find his way into the end zone?
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat and meet?
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Charles Johnson able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. Dancing to his left. Throwing left side, it's complete. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
Eluding the pressure right. And some space here. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So the offense has it 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Forced out to his left. And he gets it down to the 32. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Steps away to his left. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll make it a second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Now they'll throw with Carr. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. First and goal from the 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
They don't get in, but the clock keeps moving. So, Brandon, it might actually be to their benefit if it takes them a few plays to actually get it in the end zone.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. And the lead is up to 14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Carolina getting set to take the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. And I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
And now the rookie's free. Touchdown, Carolina. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are able to get this back within a touchdown.
And they put it in the end zone, which was job 1. Now they have to convert. And then it's decision time, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is what all teams go through. You look at the clock, you're inside 2 minutes, look at your timeouts, make that onside kick decision.
Yeah, how do you feel about your defense, where you are in terms of the scoreboard and the time left on the clock, as you noted? So many things to go through.
The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down. The Panthers are going to take another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so 1 more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
And the tackle's made there by one of the secondary members. And I can guarantee you, having played that spot in the huddle right now or on the field, they're urging for a little bit more support from the guys up front. I actually remember one game where I hopped over a defensive lineman to make a tackle downfield and realized he was 10 yards downfield. That's not good. That's being driven off the line of scrimmage, and you can't have that if you're going to win a game on defense.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
And for K'Wan Short, the questions about his motor really went away in 2015. Boy, what a season he had.
17 tackles for a loss last year, and, of course, give him another one right there. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. That all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Amari Cooper with his third touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Raiders add on to their lead.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence. So 2nd and 10 here. One receiver left, 3 to the right. 2nd and 10, Newton again. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Raiders, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Buffalo Bills next week. Meanwhile, for Carolina, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter @EA Madden NFL. The Black Hole celebrates.